Hey YouTube, Mochismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. I want to talk to you guys about the fact that they were expecting you. They heard about you. And they were expecting you. They, who the they I'm referring to are those who have been both enlisted, alerted, and made aware of you, the empath, the chosen one. They've been made aware that you are a threat. They've been made aware that you are a constant force to be reckoned with. You're in the way. You're causing problems to their program. And for this reason, they are getting the word out of who you are. But this is what they're not telling. And they speak a language. The dark energy vampires, the narcissists. They have a telepathy. They have a language they speak. I wish I could actually hear. Well, then too, we don't wish because we already know. They have conversations of sort amongst one another. It's called a smear. And they can casually, with straight faces, get the word out, go ahead of you, put the spike strips down, all in an attempt to blow your tires out. You're just driving down the road of life, minding your own business. It reminds me of that movie Wrong Turn. If you haven't watched it, I wouldn't encourage you to watch it, but if you just have to go watch it, it is a funny horror movie. You're actually laughing while you're being scared, if you can do both at the same time. And these are these inbred people from West Virginia that somehow drank the contaminated water that had all kinds of stuff from these chemical plants that went into the water. They drank it. They went crazy and essentially started committing incest with one another. Or, a matter of fact, they were the only ones alive because a lot of them died. And it was this family, the only one that lived, and they began to inbreed and have children by brothers and sisters and fathers and daughters. And so they go on to trap people that are coming through this road that comes down the wrong way. And they begin to start just killing these people and, doing a lot of this cannibalism, So this is what I think about and I had seen these movies way before I began to become awake, or I was awakened in 2020. And so I had like 4 or 5 different episodes, or I think they had 6 or 7 series. And I threw them all away, I believe. I see Wrong Turn every day. I don't have to watch the movie. So the narcissist actually has a conversation of sort where they can sit around. They blend in like us. But if you're ever in a restaurant and you're sitting next to a group of either narcissists, or let's say if it's one narcissist, they're spearheading the whole conversation. They are talking loud. And what they're talking about is mechanical stuff like their job. And you'll see them pause in conversation like they're trying to ad-lib things in the conversation. You'll know distinctively how it's no flow. It's not a flow in the conversation. They're actually saying things hoping somebody would chime in and help them connect the dots, because they're not genuinely connected to that conversation. But when it comes to you, or a subject of smearing or talking down about somebody, and they have the very uncanny ability of talking down on people in a casual, seemingly nonchalant way. Because the onlooker, or the casual observer like myself, sitting next to them off 10 feet away to where you shouldn't even be able to hear their whole conversation, they do this on purpose. And so they'll speak in terms of, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I got the position, and they just made manager, and they're a good person, but they don't seem to bring what the company is looking for to the table. They just don't seem like they're interested in helping the company move forward. You know, although they're a nice person, this is how they do. This is how they will, at the same time, seemingly compliment a person's character and destroy it at the same time, diminish it. This is how you know. First of all, the self-respect you have for yourself, you wouldn't be casually talking in the midst of other people about someone in that fashion. If you are at all concerned about that person, that would at best be a one-on-one conversation. You would not be in a group. But this is by design. And you'll have all the pigeons and the minions sitting there nodding their head. And that opinion of that narcissist will be the opinion of all the hyenas sitting around. And of course, they're sipping on wine and harsh drinks. So that further allows the demeanor and the inhibitions to be lowered, to where the free thinking and the critical thinking, although they're hyenas, they don't think on their own anyway. You add alcohol in this, they begin to be yes men's to an extreme degree. And no one dares say anything against the narcissist's opinion. They immediately get shot down, or they get looked at with scorn. Like, what do you mean by that? Oh, no big deal. So they back away from their own opinions. But what I'm trying to go for here with you were expected. They expected you. They heard about you. That conversation I just told you about right there. Now, let's use me as the subject of the one that they're referring to in that little conversation. I walk into not so much that restaurant, or let's say I do walk in that particular restaurant. You can look casually around the room and automatically your intuition tells you they were expecting you. They heard about you. Yeah, they heard about you because that narcissist, POS, acronym for piece of, is loading them up on everything you're not, but everything they want these people to be convinced of you about. And most of these people don't even know you personally and firsthand. But now the opinions of one has become the opinion of all. And this is how the persuasion works. So as we speak right now at this moment, trust and believe they've heard about you. Even before you awaken, the smear was going on. Now you just have fresh eyes to know. And now what this does for you, the advantage it gives you, you could care less. Even though you need to be vigilant and aware that this is a reality that you're going to have to contend with in a very nonchalant way. And I said nonchalant, emphasize. You contend with it with your silence. You contend with it with no reply when they run up to you. Oh, they say you are, they say. Whenever somebody comes up to you and say, I heard, or they say, and they can't give you no name or no definites, you say to them, yeah, I've heard worse. Just give them a reply that they're not expecting. Any reply that shows you don't really care, just like I just said, yeah, I've heard worse. And you silence that conversation. Thereby, that person knows that, man, I can't keep that chaos going. But they've heard about you. They were expecting you. And in many cases, the demons are waiting on you in line, like I said in the last video. They recruit and send more and more and more of the same to finish off what the last one couldn't. So they are very aware of you. They've heard about you, they know about you, and they are expecting you. Now, this means a lot to someone who really understands where I'm going with this. But if you don't really truly get where I'm going with this, once you continue to awaken, you will see that when you go places you will have that intuition where these people were expecting me. You get a sense or a feeling that you're being spoken about. Their body language will tell you everything you need to know. How do you respond to that? When that time comes and you're healing appropriately and you're doing what you need to do, when that time comes, you will respond to it just the way you're supposed to. It won't even be a question of how you will respond to it. You just will respond in the best fashion you know how. And that might mean a silence, that might mean a remark like I just made. Yeah, I've heard worse. Or that's what they say. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Do tell. Don't matter what they call you, is what you answer to, right? You see how I say, doesn't matter what they call you, is what you answer to, right? You give a question that you don't really want their answer to. That means you don't care as much as they want you to care. I've always heard somebody say this right here. Those who got the text. Those who it goes like this. Those who matter in your life don't mind what they hear about you. Those who mind what they hear about you in your life, those are the ones that don't matter. I'll say it again. Those that mind what they hear about you, those who mind what they hear, they don't matter. Those who matter in your life, as they see that they matter to you and you matter to them, they don't mind what they hear about you. Those that matter don't mind. Those who mind don't matter. Go do that. Meantime, bless.